Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Breakfast with Boom. I'm your host, MrBooMStickXL. And on today's show, we're going to be recapping GamesCom 2018, talking about Aaron Greenberg's statements regarding Playground Games and what they're working on. We have a bunch of Xbox All Access information dump that just released overnight. We have some new Claire Redfield gameplay for the hotly anticipated Resident Evil 2 remake, as well as actual gameplay footage from the Xbox One X, which looked amazing. So sit back, grab your bagel and coffee, and get ready for 2 full hours of a morning game show that you can't find anywhere else. Now, let me introduce this awesome panel of guests. First up, he's the showrunner from the Basement Arcade Radio podcast, Enrique, who's also a proud member of the Inner Circle. Welcome, dude. Thank you so much for being on today's show.
Hey, man, pleasure's all mine. Glad to have the opportunity to finally come on, man. I tell you what, I would sit in my office every Friday morning and listen to the show, man.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Man. So I love this time slot that you have. I think it's great. So,
I appreciate it. Yeah, listen, there are not many morning breakfast shows, and people go to work, people are at the gym. In other parts of the world, it's later, so it seems to be a good slot. But I definitely was excited to get you on. So thank you again. Next is his first time on the show, but he is no stranger to the community. All the way from across the pond, Jamie Moran, welcome to the show, dude. Thank you so much for hanging out.
All right, people. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, just looking forward to talking some games for a change. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, I definitely really appreciate it. And following him, and I use the word following very loosely because I don't want any trouble with the police, my very good friend and Microbox. Welcome, dude.
It's an absolute pleasure to be on again, mate. There's no better way. It's morning for you guys, but for myself and Jamie, it's sort of afternoon for us. And I just get home from work at 12, so it works out perfectly. So it's great to be back on again.
I definitely appreciate that. And last and never least, one of the best competitive shooter players that I personally know, and proof that G.I. Joes are real, Predator H2O. Welcome back to the show, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. I know I kind of jumped in last minute, but you got a great panel today, man. So I know we got a lot to talk about. So let's get it going.
I definitely appreciate it. Listen, I'm going to jump right into it because, we all are very active on Twitter. And sometimes Twitter could be great, and sometimes Twitter could be ridiculous. And I want to talk about the Xbox All Access program. It seems to be the hot button topic of gaming. A huge info dump, happened in the last 2 days, and I want to get everyone's opinion. But first, let me break it down for some people that are listening that may not know what it is. First and foremost, this has been rumored for quite some time, and basically, it's a program very similar to anyone's cell phones. Like when you go out and you get the new iPhone 11 or the Samsung Galaxy, whatever, you sign on to a contract. And most people, the common folk, meaning us, we don't spend $1,000 or $1,100 on a phone. We pay it off, right? We get into a program where monthly we're paying to have the phone because you want the newest and best tech. Well, Microsoft apparently saw this pattern and has been planning this for a while. The new program, as it's been detailed by Windows Central, appears to be very legit. And I say that, and nothing has been confirmed by Microsoft, but at the same time, Windows Central is really, really good when it comes to getting that inside Xbox source. So the way the program works is it's $22 a month. And for that $22 a month, what you're going to get is you're going to get a brand new Xbox One S. And included in that is going to be 2 years worth of Game Pass and 2 years worth of Xbox Live. Now, if you want to upgrade, like most people would, and I would if I was in that position, you for $35 a month, which I still think is incredible, you're going to get the Xbox One X, which is brand new. You're going to get 2 years of Xbox Game Pass, and you're also going to get 2 years of Xbox Live. Now, at the end of these 2 years, either one that you choose, that console is yours to keep and do with what you want. Pred, I want to go to you first on this, dude, because you're a family man, you're a military guy. Money doesn't grow on trees, and especially when you're paying for tuitions and and real life bills. A program like this could open the door, especially if you have kids and you want multiple consoles in your home. So, what is your take on this?
Oh man, I'm kind of torn between two thought processes here. So, I already have most of the shit that's in Game Pass. I already have 2 Xboxes, so like it just doesn't really appease to me,
Right. Okay.
Looking at somebody who doesn't have an Xbox that's looking to get one, I still don't think this is the route I would go if I didn't have one. I think back in the day when we had Blockbuster videos and stuff like that. Like, I remember renting a PS4 just to play a couple of games, and I turned it back in. So that worked. But actually renting the Xbox for 2 years, at this price, I think you're going to come out, if you do the math, I think you're going to come out having been able to pay for it. So I'm more of a person, I'd rather save up and pay cash for something than to rent it out long term over time. That's just me. I think if I had to make this decision, I would probably just buy one outright.
Okay.
Just based off of my personal experiences with gaming and money and shit like that. So it's good to have options, and I think that's where the best part of this is. And I'm still not sure how it works after 2 years. Like, do you get to keep the Xbox? Do you?
Yes, you do. It's yours. It's yours.
So yeah. So I mean, I would just buy one outright. I mean, the prices of an Xbox One S now, they're gonna drop if they haven't done it by the end of this year for Christmas. They're like sitting around $200 now.
What, the S? Yeah, the S is about $200.
So that's gonna probably drop to like maybe $150 for Christmas, I'm guessing. But and if you really want to get into gaming, there you go. It's $150, maybe $200, give or take. I think the selling point of this is Game Pass.
Yes.
Because you're gonna get all the exclusives that are gonna come out, when they drop the Xbox exclusives, when they decide to come out, day and date. But outside of that, Game Pass really isn't my thing. For the most part, because I like to buy my games.
Okay.
So for me, it's a no for me, dog. But I mean, but I could see the appeal to it. I just don't see myself if I just did not have let's put it this way, if I didn't have a PlayStation 4, and I have one, but I don't have a lot of games for it. But if I did not have one, I still would not go this route. I would just buy it. It just makes more sense to me. You can probably pick one up used from somebody for like $120. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, there's other ways to do this, but I think I was more expecting them to kind of lump in Game Pass, Xbox Live, and everything else together with one price.
Oh, I gotcha.
So that would have made more sense to me.
Okay, I mean, look, like I said, when you talk to the diehard gaming community, which we're all a part of, this may not be as appealing as to someone who, let's say, for instance, owns a PlayStation 4, can't outright buy all of this stuff because they can only afford to support one console, but always wanted to be a multi-plat gamer. Micro, I want to go to you, dude, because I know we talked pre-game and that you were you were telling me a story about your 360 days. This is a very affordable, attractive price for people on a budget. What are your thoughts on the program?
Well, I just think it's something that Microsoft have been doing so well, certainly over the last couple of years, and that's extra choice. They're giving you the choice, and at the end of the day, like Game Pass, like Xbox Live, it's a choice that you don't have to take, but it's there if you want it. And I think this new thing that they're rumored to be doing, I mean, it's not been confirmed yet, but I mean, if the rumors are true, it just gives gamers another option and another way to get into gaming if money is. If money is tight. I mean, we do it with mobile phones all the time and we never think twice about it. So, I mean, we always get the latest phones and we have contracts for 2 years and then the phone's ours. And then we always go and sell it and get the next one and pay through the teeth again for another 2 years for this mobile phone. But I think it's something that could work in gaming. It'd be interesting to see how it goes in the US if it does come into fruition. But it's just something that Microsoft and Xbox do so well. They just give us those options. You don't have to take them, but they're there, and it just gives you that extra accessibility, and not everybody can, not everybody can afford to even save up sort of £200-300. I mean, a lot of people were complaining when the X dropped that the price was just too high and they couldn't afford it, and there's still lots of people that haven't jumped on, that would like to jump on but don't because of price. It just gives them that extra option, other than turning to, I mean, in the UK we've got these catalog companies and things like that where people pay through the teeth with interest to buy these things for £5 a week or whatever. It just gives them that option to get away from that, and just gives them another way of getting into it. I could see it probably becoming quite big in the UK and Europe. If it ever comes over here, I'll be interested. I think it'd do well in the US. But I agree completely with what Predator said. I mean, I'm in the position now where I can just go out and pay for it. I don't want to be paying for it weekly or and going through that way. But it's not for everybody. But there are people out there that would jump at the opportunity to do this. So, but yeah, I'm a bit surprised they didn't bundle in live and everything with it as well. I mean, as I say, this is all rumors, speculation. Nothing's been confirmed yet. But you would hope that they would put Game Pass and Xbox Live in there as well. As part of that package, because otherwise you're sticking another 10 or 15 quid on top of that, aren't you? With everything.
Yeah, no, you get it. You get it all. You get everything. You get Xbox Live for 2 years, which is $120, and if you pay for Game Pass, the $10 a month, that's $240. I think the breakdown was, depending on which console, you can save up to $120.
Yeah,
if you did it this way. So,
I mean, it's a saving, and that's something that you wouldn't get if you buy things through catalogs in the UK. You can pay up to twice as much. So, it certainly seems a better viable option to people that can't afford to fork out that sort of money in one lump. Definitely.
I mean, look, like I said, options, right? That's what we all want. That's something that Microsoft is notorious for doing. We got to remember, the video game industry has been running pretty much as it's been running for years, right? It's just a steady course. And then Microsoft, listen, they fumbled in 2013. We're not going to bring that up. They made mistakes, but they course corrected over the years, and it did cost them sales. But at the same time, they're doing these programs that no one else is doing. They're the first one to do a Netflix style type of program with Game Pass, and it's a big deal because people are really interested. The program is surpassing their expectations, and that's been proven by comments from both Aaron Greenburg and Phil Spencer, that they were really taken aback by how well it's doing.
I mean, look, just looking in the chat, I mean, UK Daz, he said he had to get in through a catalogue, his Xbox One X. So to him, this would be a better option for him, definitely. So
yes,
there are people that still are, still use catalogues and that, and this would be a better option, definitely.
Oh, definitely. Well, excellent. Jamie, I want to go to you next, dude, because I really, like, you are one of my favorite Twitter people, because you go out there and you're very active with the community. Your opinion is out there, and it's always pro gaming. I don't ever see negativity out of your stuff. And it's pretty impressive, because Twitter could be a negative space, unfortunately. But I really want to get your take on this. You're a diehard gamer. You've been gaming for a very long time, just like all of us. What are your thoughts on this new Microsoft program?
Oh, well, cheers. Well, I have a lot to say on this, because Game Pass is a big part of this. And while I think Game Pass is absolutely awesome, the value's there, it's not for me. I need my retail boxes, because
Gotcha.
I'm stuck in the past,
But with you there.
I've never once bought a phone. Like, I always go for a 2-year contract. And when it comes to a console, like, I would always buy it up front, but not everyone can do that. And in the UK, there's an online retailer called shop2.net where you could actually finance a console, but you'd end up paying like £200 interest after you were done with. So that's a bit much, but this sounds like it would be a hell of a lot less, and you'd be getting a lot more with Game Pass and that. But there's something about this I don't think a lot of people actually clicked on about. You get to keep the console afterwards. So let's say you get one this November, hypothetically, and then you keep it for 2 years, you pay for it and it's yours. And then when next gen starts, you could trade in your system at a store, get some cash and put it towards like Scarlet.
Yes.
So I think it's a cool idea.
Nice. Well, I mean, look, like I said, you're, and you say stuck in the past. Listen, people like I mean, this is why Microsoft is going to be offering 2 SKUs on the Scarlet. You're going to have your digital, which is going to be the cheaper version for people that are all digital and don't need the traditional box underneath the TV. And then you're going to have your $500 or $600 console that that you're going to be able to put underneath your TV. And I just want to do a quick shout out, pay the bills. First and foremost, the super chat by Jay Zayas. Thank you very much. And the big $20 drop from Josette Rivera. Thank you very much. A lot of people don't know this. That is my wife, Josette Rivera. She is a big supporter of my work. She is a big supporter of my channel. So a big thank you, honey. Thank you for that. You are awesome as always. But last but certainly not least, I want to get Enrique's opinion on this because he runs his own show, and obviously when you do that, you have to be in the know and you have to be opinionated because you want people to come listen to your shows, and I do, and I think your show is fantastic. But I really want to get your opinion on this. Do you think that this is groundbreaking and another big win for Microsoft?
Yes and yes. I think this is huge. This only expands the pie of consumer base for the gaming industry.
Yep.
Because now what you're doing is you're eliminating a potential cost barrier for people who may not otherwise want to buy your console. People who say, I could game, but I don't want to, spend, $250 on a console right now. And then I got to go out and buy accessories, and then games are $60. I don't want to deal with all that headache. And now you kind of take away that headache or that second guessing of, hey, now I can actually, like my cell phone, and this is, and the genius about this is that people already know how this works because they're doing it with their cell phone.
Yep.
So this isn't a new concept. It's like you don't necessarily really have to explain to a consumer how it works. You may have to talk about some of the added value features of what Game Pass offers, why you need Xbox Live, stuff like that. But it's a no-brainer. This to me is game changing, and I think this is going to be the future of how we consume game consoles. I don't think they're never gonna take away the ability for us to go into a retail store, and if we want to spend $400 or $500, we want to put down our hard-earned cash down and to buy a retail console. I think that's ever going to go away, but this is certainly a nice option. And no, I see people on Twitter saying stuff like, "Oh, this is for people who are financially irresponsible." No, it's not. It's another option for people. It gives them another option to buy a game console. And for me, like I think what Predator said, like it's not like for him this isn't something he would utilize today, and it's probably something I wouldn't utilize today. But next gen, if I don't have to go out and plunk $400 down, and I can subsidize a console and free up a little more cash flow to maybe buy accessories or buy games.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm gonna do. This is I will be day one with this next console gen.
Yes. I also want to do a quick shout out to HR Bomber. This is what he has to say. This allows the company to make even more powerful consoles and only cost as much as $50 a month. To him, the ceiling could be ridiculous. And he's right, because you don't know. I mean, think about this. The Xbox One X came out at $500. And we're talking liquid cooling. We're talking about, 4K Blu-ray player in there, a lot of stuff. Remember how many sites, guys, tried to recreate this on a PC and could not hit that $500 mark, right? I mean, how many of them? Tons of them. So you can only imagine that this really kind of sets the path for Microsoft in a couple of ways. First, if the next console, let's just say the next console is so ultra powerful and so OP'd that it's a $600 console. Now, I don't think it's going to be. They're going to probably not go higher than $500. But let's just say, for instance, that it is, right? This opens the door for people to say, you know what? I don't have $650 after tax for this because life is more important, right? Paying the bills, car payments, tuitions, keeping the lights on so you can play games. Important, right? A lot of people forget about that. But you can pay $41 a month And in that $41 a month, you're getting Live for 2 years. You don't have to worry about, and Game Pass. And with Live, you're getting those 48 free games because you're getting 4 games a month for 2 years with their Gold program. And you're going to have all of these games in Game Pass. It's literally a no-brainer. Literally a no-brainer. So everyone's opinions were really great. And of course, you know, I love hearing them, and I'm sure the chat does as well. But let's move on to a subject that may take 20 minutes. So I kind of want to get this one out of the way. Gamescom 2018 impressions. Now I talked about it with the Welsh game yesterday on the Xbox Centric show. But you know what? I want to get the panel's opinion, because you guys weren't there, and I like hearing everyone's opinion on it. Micro, I want to go to you first. Obviously Gamescom is big in your country because it's basically Europe's E3. Inside Xbox happened. I thought it was a solid show. It was not terrible like the other ones. I mean, there were some cringy moments, of course. There always is when Larry Herb's involved. I mean, and of course, you're always going to have the Xcox moment. That's going to it's going to remain in history's memory forever. But overall, what were your takeaways from Gamescom 2018? Not just but the Microsoft part. There were plenty of games shown, and we're going to really kind of break those down. What we thought about the games. But what were your takeaways from Gamescom 2018?
The whole thing was quite solid. I haven't seen the Inside Xbox yet.
Okay.
I'm so tied up with work this week. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. But I've always enjoyed the Inside Xbox stuff anyway. I know it gets slated a lot, but most things do these days. But I mean, it was all the stuff that we'd already known. I mean, we've had some dates confirmed now. We know that DayZ's coming out on the preview program. That to me was interesting. PubG's coming out of a preview on the 4th or 3rd of September.
Yeah, 4th. Right, yes, the 4th.
4th of September. That's obviously a big one, so we're going to be expecting some big patches for that. But no, I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty solid show. But pretty much due to work this week, I haven't even touched the surface of announcements or anything. I've been watching trailers. I know that you've posted some in the chat for us to look through. And I've made sure I checked those out. And but overall, I haven't really seen a great deal. So yeah, it's been one of those weeks. And up to Sunday, I'd been so tied up with stuff, I forgot it was even Gamescom. Even this week? It's like, what are we playing at? That's what happens when you go on holiday and you come back. It's like, hang on, what's happening?
Okay, well, how about this? The trailers for the games that you saw, like what were some of your favorites?
Well, obviously Resident Evil 2, which we'd seen already anyway. I thought that looked fantastic. Cyberpunk again looked amazing. I'm just trying to go through all the ones that I saw. Battlefield 5, they showed some footage of the new sort of PubG type mode, didn't they? Which I think is very good. I mean, I like the look of Battlefield 5 anyway. I think it looks a stunning game.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing that one and actually getting it. I'm actually getting that one this year over. I'm not even bothering with COD this year. Fallout 76 again. That's going to be a must buy for me. I'm definitely going to be getting that one. And there was a few others as well. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That looked amazing. I'm really looking forward to that game.
Really
yeah,
good.
It looks absolutely amazing. I know they've come out now, haven't they, and said that there's not going to be one next year. They're not.
Yes, that's confirmed. You know what? That's good. Obviously, the one prior to Odyssey coming out, Origins, the quality in that title showed that taking that year off does pay off in dividends, and
definitely.
Yeah. So I mean that is a big deal. But Odyssey does look. I mean, I'm a big 300 fan, so I'm excited.
Yeah. No, it looks great, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And what was the other one? Oh, the name of it's gone completely out of my head. You put the trailer up for it. On the
Dark Pictures.
Yes, I think that's the one.
Yeah, Dark Pictures, Man of Medan. Yeah, that's the one by by Supermassive Games.
That's it, and that looked amazing. And the other one, which I'm just double checking on now, which I watched, and I wasn't too sure to start off with, but the more I watched it, I thought, yes, I've got to. It's by the guys who made the Just Dawn, isn't it? Is it Just Dawn?
Yeah, that's the one. That's one we were just literally talking about. It's called Dark Pictures, Man of Medan.
That's it, and Storm Divers as well.
Yeah, Storm Divers looks fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, these sort of survival games now, they're really becoming a thing, aren't they? Which I haven't got a problem with it though, because people obviously enjoy that format. And you know, like we've said in previous podcasts, it's no different to sort of team deathmatch and capture the flag. It's a game
mode. Eventually, it's just going to be a regular mode. Now it's a big deal, but it's eventually just going to be a mode like team deathmatch was. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're going to see it in every game. So, I mean, why not have it in every game as a game mode? I mean, if it's that popular, then it just seems stupid not to jump on board and have them on. I'm just trying to remember the name of the other one that I saw as well. That what the hell was it called? Forza Horizons as well looked amazing.
Oh, that looked. Come on, dude. You know what? I actually, again, the negativity on Twitter sometimes is nauseating. I actually saw people posting that it was downgraded in graphics. I don't know what specs they were looking from, but my glasses saw it just looks fantastic.
They just seem to like attacking anything gaming these days. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's on both sides of it. Don't think there's any console out there nowadays that doesn't get crap thrown at it for one reason or another. I think people are getting a bit too. I think it's got worse.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
8 months, I think. I think it's probably got worse since the X dropped for some reason. Don't know why that might be, but there you go. And obviously, the other big one as well, obviously, was the Halo Master Chief Collection going on to
September
Game
1st,
Pass.
buddy. I can't wait.
And the September 1st. I'm assuming, I believe I read that was the day that the update was going to come out as well for the enhancements.
Yes, it's going right into Game Pass, and it's going to have all the 4K HDR bells and whistles we've all been waiting for.
I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. I'm lucky enough to be in the insider program on that, and it just looks incredible. And they've done so much to it, and even on the multiplayer, I don't know if any of the other guys are in that program and had the opportunity to play it, but it's just fantastic, and I think it's going to sort of revitalize the Master Chief Collection and bring it back to where it should have been when it first came out, really. But hopefully people will jump on board with that again, especially with it being on the Game Pass. It's just going to give it that revitalization that it needs, and it just looks absolutely amazing on the Xbox One X. It just runs fluidly, and the matchmaking is just incredible.
Nice.
It's how it should have been when it was first released.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. But the fact that they got there anyway, even though the game released in 2015, it's still it's a triumph for 343.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully they'll make an announcement about another certain Halo game coming to it soon as well. I hope they're keeping that one to their chest, aren't they? But
yes.
So that's about it, really. I mean, as I say, I mean, I'm still trying to catch up. Today's the first day that I've had where I've actually been able to sit down and start catching up, which is what I've been doing earlier on. I was going through all the news earlier, so I'm still catching up on everything. I watched Inside Xbox this evening.
Okay, well, listen, you had listen. Considering you didn't see it, you had a lot to say. I definitely appreciate your thoughts, Predator. I want to go to you, dude. What were your takeaways from Gamescom 2018? I mean, again, the Xbox, the Inside Xbox is always going to be what it is, but there were a lot of games showed, a lot of like gameplay trailers, not just like CG trailers, like actual gameplay. What were your takeaways from it, dude?
Let me see. So I didn't get to watch Gamescom because I was at work.
Damn that work.
Yeah, right.
Pain.
Like I said, I won't go into Inside Xbox, the show itself. That's a whole nother topic of discussion. But I think my biggest takeaway was Hunt Showdown.
Oh, that looks good.
Because I've been playing that on PC. And the fact that they're releasing PubG 1.0, and I don't know what's going to be in it, and I just hope it looks a lot better than what it does right now when it comes out. and I can't really refute most of the stuff that he just said. Like, there were a lot of games that we had already had on our list. We got to see some more gameplay footage. I think my biggest takeaway was like the stuff that wasn't shown, like Crackdown. Like, where was that at?
Yes, I agree. That would have been a good spot for Crackdown, because we're, I mean, at this point, what are we, 5 months away from its release?
Yeah,
right?
and we haven't really heard anything about that game. I really was hoping to see some more Red Dead out there as well.
Yes.
Yep. Just like the games that are coming out this year, like Battlefield and stuff like that. Like, I want to see gameplay of those games, like not just these little trailers. And I hate that they didn't really bring a lot, like this really teaser demos and stuff like that. And I'm sure that stuff's going to come, but it's just like with Battlefield and what else is coming out, Call of Duty and stuff. I wanted to see more gameplay of those two games. Specifically those two, because I'm definitely already pre-ordered Battlefield 5, so that's not even an issue. But some of the games I'm on the fence about, this would have been the perfect time for them to kind of put some more info out there for those games. Okay,
nice. And now I just want to get your take on the game that you play that you talked about, Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
What are your, because you've played it on PC? Do you think that that's going to do well on the Xbox One?
Yes.
I mean, what type of gameplay is it?
Well, so basically, you could do a 1 or 2 man teams. You're in the swamps of like Louisiana, if you want to think of it that way. With it's like a kind of an old school feel to it, like with the old Western rifles and stuff like that. And
nice.
And you have to hunt different enemies, as well as trying to avoid the other teams that are trying to hunt the same enemy you are. So what happens is, like, let's say the maps on PC right now is a spider, and there's the butcher is this guy's name. So you go and you have to like find clues to figure out where they're at on the map. You kill them and you collect the bounty, and then you have to get back to an evac point. Oh. Doing all that, while all that's going on, there's if you're playing teams of 2, you can go up to 8 people on the map. So so the other teams are trying to do the same thing as you and find you and kill you at the same time. So you can actually, we've done this, you can actually get in, get the bounty, and get out without killing any other players. And each time you kill an NPC, like the wolves and the other zombie looking things that are out there, you get points for that. So as you finish your match, you get credit for all the kills you got and how much stuff you found in the game. But you can literally get in, get out without having to kill anybody other than the requested bounties. Or you can get in, you can kill everybody on the map, as well as get the bounty and get out. Or you can just die, and get killed by somebody else. But you lose, you basically lose everything. Like, you lose that character if you get killed in the map.
Oh, so it's permadeath.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then basically there's bloodline. So like, let's say you start off as a character, I'll just throw a name out there like John Cole, and he gets killed off. So like someone in his bloodline, you get to replace that person with someone else in his bloodline. And each character has different weapons and stuff like that you can use, like a rifle or a pistol, or they got a crossbow now. So I haven't actually played in like 2 weeks, but it's a fun game. It's kind of like, what's this game that just came out recently? The one for Bohemia Interactive that's in preview. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, yes. Crap. I don't remember the name. I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of similar to that, but better.
Okay, nice.
But it's a fun game. I think it'll be okay for a while. But with any game like this, it's all about the updates. If you can keep it consistently updated with fresh.
Is a game called Vigor?
Yes, that's
okay. That's a big shout out to Aaron Summers, who saved the day with the name of the game. Nice. Okay, well, listen, I thanks for the info, because I saw the the trailer for Hunt, and I was immediately interested. Add Old West, throw some co-op and some monsters in there, and I think you have the possibility of a good game.
And I think another thing to take away from this is that it's Crytek, and we always thought that they had a bad blood there between them and Microsoft. So maybe this will help pave the way to kind of get us a Rise 2, or maybe get
absolutely good point, dude. Fantastic point. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, listen, any possibility of getting a Rise 2 gets me excited, so I will be supporting this game. Hopefully the community gets out there, supports this game, and Crytek realizes that yes, they can make money on the Xbox. So fingers crossed on that. Jamie Moran, brother, I want to get your takeaway on because I saw you posting on Twitter. What were your thoughts on Gamescom 2018?
Well, I'll get onto the whole thing, in a second. But when it comes to like the Microsoft show, when they first announced they're just going to do it inside Xbox, I just thought, well, it's going to have some cringe and some news, and that's what we got. I thought it was decent, but the show as a whole, I actually got what I wanted. Release dates, new trailers, new information. We had things like the biggest low-key news was actually from Hitman 2. If you actually buy the game, it actually includes all the content of the first game.
That's a great get if you don't have Game Pass.
And Ace Combat 7 finally got a release date after being delayed for 2 years. The Hunt Showdown looked really good. THQ Nordic brought their game this year. They had a lot of games to show, like Darksiders 3, Biomutant,
which looks fantastic. Yeah.
Honestly, I watch these things just for the trailers. I don't watch the long gameplay clips because I feel like it spoils the game a bit. But I honestly thought Gamescom as a whole was really good because I've seen like 50 trailers now for games I want.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the big takeaway for me personally with Gamescom is that there was so many trailers, like you could not turn the corner and find a game that you might be interested in.
Exactly.
Nice. All right. Anything else you want to add to it?
No, other than the fact that we're going to get an Ace Combat 7 flight stick for Xbox One.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. Hang on. I have to Google that.
Microbox. Yeah, his eyes have just now been pinned open. Nice. Okay, well, I'm going to go to the last, but certainly not least. Enrique, again, being a showrunner, you have to keep your ear to the floor. What did you walk away from Gamescom thinking when it came to the games that were actually shown?
The biggest thing that my biggest takeaway that 2019 is going to be a good year for gaming. We got release dates for Shenmue 3, which I'm dying to play, being a big Shenmue fan from the Dreamcast days. And
did you support it on the Kickstarter?
You know what? I did not.
Okay.
And that's a whole that's a whole other issue. I long story short, I didn't really appreciate the way Sony kind of paraded Yu Suzuki out on stage, and it was like, okay, let's start the crowdfunding right now. And I was kind of like, this guy's a legend. Just fund the damn game,
Right.
But that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
Devil May Cry is kind of Devil May Cry 5. I love the footage I saw. That drops March 2019.
Yep.
I'm really excited for that game. They're looking. It looks like they've added some deeper gameplay. It's not just
the
like
destructible environments look sick.
Yes, they do. And it just looks like they've added, which I think they should have done anyway. It looks like they've added like deeper combat to the game. It's not just, I mean, it still has that like hack and slash feel to it, but it's I forget what it was. There's some different combat techniques that you can use in the game and stuff. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it looks like it's a much deeper game than previous Devil May Cry.
Yes, it looks like you're going to have to really learn the moves. If you can't just hit A and B and just keep it going.
Exactly, which was great. Like, 15 years ago, whenever the first Devil May Cry came out. But today, it just wouldn't cut the mustard for me. I thought Master Chief Collection was a huge announcement.
It's definitely a big announcement, no doubt about it.
I just didn't, and I don't want to get too much into the inside Xbox and Major Nelson, but I just felt like Major Nelson could have been a little more enthusiastic about the announcement of that game, because I felt like that was probably their biggest announcement, that it was coming with Xbox One X enhancements. And look, that's 60 frames a second multiplayer. That is huge.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right to Halo 3 when that game launches. I'm going right into Halo 3 multiplayer, no doubt about it.
Yeah. God, what else is coming out 2019? I feel like I'm missing another game.
I mean, did you see the Claire Redfield footage with dude? I did. Listen, I don't think until the game comes out I'm going to stop talking about this. It may not be every Breakfast with Boom, but I'm obviously a huge Resident Evil fan. So much so I own every game from every country. Okay, I have every Japanese Biohazard game, every version. I have the very limited and extremely expensive $2,000 umbrella briefcase that my wife got me. Yeah, I have that in storage. So I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I'm never going to stop talking about this, but I'm going to say this. Two things that I took away, and I'll get right back to you. They showed the Leon footage running on the Xbox One X, which looked ridiculous.
Yes.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, we got to see Sherry Birkin, and we got to see the Pops with after he's mutated. What were your takeaways about how incredible Capcom has taken the Resident Evil 2 remake?
I was blown away, and like Resident Evil is such an iconic franchise.
Yes,
like they even the camera angle, like that kind of over the shoulder third person camera angle, like even that, the way it looks is it looks like they've executed. This game looks perfect, and Capcom looks like they've done a hell of a job in remastering this game. The new assets and everything, and this is one of the games I'm looking forward to. Because I think that drops February 2019, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Actually, no, it's January 26th.
Okay, yeah. So
it starts off the madness because I don't know whether you guys realized it or not. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice got a release date for March.
Yep.
Listen, as it stands right now, from what we know, we have at least almost a dozen games coming out in the first 3 months. Listen, I said this on yesterday's show. I'm going to say it again. This Christmas, take the L. Don't open up any presents. Ask your loved ones to just give you gift cards. Tuck it away in your underwear or sock drawer. Forget that you have them, and just wait until the new year.
I'm not a fan of pre-ordering, but I've actually decided, I did this maybe last month. I started pre-ordering a game with Paycheck because I know it's going to cost a lot of money.
Dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, my takeaway for GamesCom is that 2019 is just going to be a great year for gaming. And the one thing with regards to Resident Evil 2 and Capcom, it made me think okay, Konami, why aren't you stepping up to the plate? You have so many, like Castlevania. You have Castlevania, which I would love to see a remaster of, I would say remake of that franchise. I mean, it's an iconic franchise. And Capcom, I love what Capcom's doing. I love the fact that they're tapping into these older franchises and remaking them. And
you know what this means, dude? When we see, first of all, they've already hinted that Resident Evil 3 is getting remade in the same RE engine, which makes me just want to pass out. But I'm the host, so I have to keep talking. And two, there are two iconic titles that need to come back. And if Resident 2 does well, Resident 3 is obviously going to do well. I'd have to remove myself from the show for an in the pants moment if they announce a Dino Crisis or Onimusha remake. That's all I'm going to say on it.
I want Onimusha so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw Ghost of Tsushima, I was like, okay, I want Onimusha.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Yep.
That's what I was hoping it was when they started the trailer. I was like, Onimusha, please.
Well, listen, everyone had an awesome take. I appreciate everyone's opinions on it. I want to move over to okay. So I'm going to segue into the next topic, but I kind of want to just still bring the Gamescom in tow, and as many things as we saw, there were certain things that were rumored to show that didn't. Obviously, the standout is Elite version 2 controller that was supposed to be. It was reported that it was going to be there. It was also codenamed, according to certain websites, codenamed Washburn. Right, that was supposed to be unveiled there. It didn't. Now, segueing into my next topic, and I want to get the chat's opinion, and of course I want to get the panel's opinion on this. There have been several rumors floating around that Microsoft is seriously toying around with the idea of having an exclusive Xbox show for the fans in the same vein as Sony's extremely popular PSX. Now, would this be something that you guys want to see? And could some of the announcements that were rumored to happen be waiting for this particular show? I want to go right to Predator on this because I know that, again, you're a big gamer like me. Does Microsoft need their own PSX?
Yes, but however, caveat.
Okay, let's go. This is a conversational podcast. Let's talk about it.
This is my thing with them doing this, right? They have to have content. So
yes, absolutely.
Because if you're gonna stop everyone's lives and present this show, you need to actually put something in it, especially if it's like a once a year type deal. Put something in it, because right now we have E3, we have Gamescom, we have the weekly podcast they do, Xbox Weekly. I think they still do that, and now we have the other one that Mr. Whiteglove does. I can't think right now. Inside Xbox.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So that's a lot right now. And the thing is, the only time we really get any new information on anything is at E3. So unless they're gonna pump out something like some valid, no shit, here's some gameplay, here's what we're working on type stuff, then they don't need to do that show, because we already have Inside Xbox. They could push all that on that show, or just have one huge Inside Xbox show and announce that stuff then, instead of, if they're going to do that, they got to get rid of one of them.
I agree. Yes.
They can't, I mean, obviously E3 and Gamescom ain't going nowhere, but like they got to get rid of the weekly show or the monthly show if they're going to do that. Just, I mean, it's too much overkill for us to get hyped up and then show up and listen for an hour or two.
And then we're let down.
Just to see like the same shit we saw at E3.
Yep.
Maybe a little more gameplay footage and somebody playing a hurdy-gurdy, or they're playing some fucking stupid. I mean, and that's what we've gotten so far. So for them to do a show, if that's the rumor and they want to do a show, they got to scale back on something else. Now, I like having news. I like being able to, I like tuning into this kind of stuff, but it's almost like it's starting to get a little boring, to be honest with you, because they're not giving us brand new shit. They're just giving us old shit just now with commentary from other people, and that's not really what we want to see. We want to be excited and we want to see something new and refreshing and get some kind of information, because Microsoft has had a shitty, I guess like their PR has been really shitty the past.
It has, no doubt about it.
And if they're gonna do a PR show, they actually have to have some information that back it up with. Because I mean, we don't want to talk about this, but Gamescom wasn't all that exciting. The one they did for Gamescom, like there's only been, out of the shows they've done for Xbox Inside, I think there's been like one that I really was like, wow. I think it was the second show. But outside of that, it's just been like, huh, okay, you know. So they got it. If they're gonna do a show and have, you know, people fly out to it and shit like that, and it's got to be more than just people playing games at the show, because they're gonna present this on TV. We're all not gonna be there. Show us something. Tell us what you're working on. Show us Fable 3. Show us the new controller. Show us the shit that we've been asking to see. Don't just get up there on stage and talk about games that we already know about in DLC for Sea of Thieves. Because that's all we've been getting so far.
Right. You get that, and you get State of Decay Horde mode is basically what you got out of it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, listen, you know, that was, you know, very well put, dude. I like your opinion on it. Microbox, I want to go to you, dude. This has been rumored for a while, and now the rumors are starting to circulate even more. There was a lot of stuff left off the table, so you kind of wonder, there's only so much time left in the year. If they're going to do an announcement, it's probably has to be soon. But do you think that Microsoft as a platform needs their own PSX to you know, I hate to use the word stay relevant, because they are relevant. They're you know, number 2 in you know, on the out of 3 list. But you know, a show for fans that celebrates everything Xbox is important. What are your takes on it?
I think it would be a good move for them to do something like that. I think it would be a good thing, but as Predator was saying, they can't overdo it. When Inside Xbox started, that's what people were expecting Inside Xbox to be. It got a lot of hate for it not being this big announcement place, and you know, where all these new games are going to be announced, and people got the wrong end of the stick, and they were expecting Inside Xbox to be like a mini Gamescom or something like that. So it would be great to see them putting a lot of effort into a show. I mean, for me, E3 is the big one. That's the one I get the most excitement from. You know, waiting for that one is the big one. I don't get so excited for Gamescom and PAX and things like that, because it just does tend to be more of what we've known already, more of what we know is coming, and that's what Inside Xbox tends to be as well. I do like the fact that we have Inside Xbox because it's just to have a little bit of an update, and then we find out about DLCs and dates and things like that. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's on the console, it's on YouTube and Twitter and whatever. Twitter, I always call it Twitter. It's there, and you don't have to watch it, but it's there if you want to. And I don't think there's an issue with that. I mean, certainly in the UK, there's a definite lack of programs to watch on TV, etc. for gaming. We used to have loads, but now there's nothing. So if it's your main hobby, it's nice to have something that you can watch. But if they could put some real effort into it and make sure that they could actually keep some of these announcements to their chest and stop them leaking, and actually get some excitement going, that would be nice. If we could actually have an announcement from Microsoft and Xbox that wasn't leaked a week before or something, that would be great. I don't understand why people keep leaking this stuff. Keep it to your chest. Just spoils it. I would like a Xbox centric concentrated show, and why not? I think it's something that would be fantastic, but it's got to be done properly. You can't have Mr. Whiteglove on there presenting it because he just doesn't have that.
He's listen. I like Larry. I respect him. I do respect for what he does. He does care about the platform, but he just does not have the enthusiasm that you kind of want leading the charge. I'm just saying.
No, you need people that have got a great stage presence, and very much like Phil Spencer has. I mean, he's amazing at what he does at E3. I mean, get Phil Spencer to do it. If you're struggling for people, why not get Phil to do it? People would love to see Phil Spencer doing something like this. I mean, every time I hear that something's coming out like Gamescom, I expect Phil Spencer to walk on stage, and I'm always really disappointed that he doesn't, because he always has something to bring. But no, I mean, my biggest downside with Inside Xbox is the whole presentation style. I'm not that keen on it, but like Jamie said, I'm only watching it for the trailers. All the other stuff in between, I couldn't give a toss about. It's just give me the trailers and the hard facts and the news, and I sort of just forward past it, the rest of it. But no, I think it's important I think it's an important stance, and Microsoft have made it very clear this year that they mean business with the Xbox brand. Well, since the Xbox One X was announced, really, they mean business, and they will continue to mean business, and they're proving it to everybody. And I think it would be a good move for them, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, like I said, any kind of positive coverage for your brand where you're celebrating you see, that's what you got to do. Don't celebrate the Xbox. We do that for them. They need to celebrate the fans. And having an event like this to get people in there with like little keychains and pins and just get everyone wearing their green socks and just hanging out and enjoying each other's company. That's definitely what they need. Jamie, I want to go to you, dude. You're obviously a big Xbox guy. There's no doubt about it. And that's awesome. I'm like that. It's my. I mean, I gladly and proudly support all three. But my Xbox is my premier system for all their first and second party, as well as third party games. Do you think that this would be something that you might be interested, or that the fans, as a whole, would be interested in?
Yeah, well, I'd be very interested, but the thing is, things need to change. Like when we got Inside Xbox, everyone looked at that thinking we're going to get Nintendo Direct style announcements with new games, and we didn't get that. That's not what Inside Xbox is, and I think they need to tone that down. Maybe have one every 2 months and save some of the bigger stuff for something like a live event, and they need to do something E3 style, because PlayStation have E3, Paris Game Show, and PSX, and they all, relatively the same size. Some is slightly smaller than others, and that works for them. Nintendo do the directs once a month, and then they do another direct at E3, and that works for them. But Microsoft's kind of all over the place. They have E3, which is massive. They have Gamescom, which they treat as it doesn't get treated the same as E3 or how it used to, because the media don't really cover Gamescom as much as they do with E3. So they need to find like a happy medium, I think. So do a decent big show, show new games off. Don't show things like DLC or more PubG, like actual new announcements. Get the fans hyped, because remember, every year whenever PSX is approaching, what happens to the Xbox community online? Arguing. Yes. We should have a show like this. We need a show like this. And then people argue saying, well, why they shouldn't do it. And Microsoft, look, let's face it, they have the money. They can do it. And the fans want it, and
the fans will come to that. The fans will buy tickets, even if they're not offering it free. Like, PSX, it's not free. You have to buy tickets. I would gladly drop $35 on a ticket that would get me into an Xbox celebration in a microsecond.
Yeah, well, like something like that. Like, I would rather pay to fly over there to go to something like that rather than E3, because E3 you're dealing with thousands of people in this sweaty like convention center. I think they should do it, but they need to do it in November because you have everyone going crazy buying stuff. They could announce that whole Xbox what do you call it? The finance thing.
Oh yeah, the Xbox All Access program.
Yeah, that they could announce that, and they could say that's available today, and people would go nuts and get that for Christmas, but they just need to show stuff, because like what we got for Battletoads at E3 wasn't enough.
Okay, all right. Well, listen. I mean, look, I agree with you, and I am all for an Xbox show, no doubt about it. I've been really hoping I can, eventually get one. And you know what? For crying out loud, I know a lot of the guys are not here, and I'm sorry, but have it in New York already. I'm tired of this, man. I can't afford to fly to LA. I'm just saying, bring it home to New York. End of story. But Enrique, I want to get you, dude. I want to talk about you. What your opinions on this? Do you think that? And we've been talking about this. I've heard you talk about it on your show, dude.
Mm-hmm.
A PSX style Xbox show, I think, is almost a must. But what's your opinion on it, dude?
You know what? You hit the nail on the head, BoomStick. You said it's a celebration of the fans.
Yes,
and that's what they need to do. What I love about PSX is it's a celebration of PlayStation fans, and I think it's a great platform. I think Jamie said, maybe do it in November. And you can announce something like the Xbox All Access plan in November, right before the kickoff of the holidays, which is the biggest, shopping time or year where people go out and spend money and buy goods and whatnot. But I think it's a great way for them to kind of either to celebrate the fans, but also kind of control their messaging a little bit more, and maybe reveal like one or two things. I mean, look at PSX last year. I mean, they revealed The Last of Us 2. I mean, we finally saw, I think, the first gameplay footage or trailer footage of the game. And not all PSXs have been great.
No, some of them have been crummy. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah.
But it's a celebration of the fans. I think you hit the nail on the head with that. And to me, I think there's a lot of people that would love to go out there who can't get out to E3 or who can't get into FanFest. This is an opportunity for those folks to go out there and celebrate, gaming, meet up with friends. It's just a nice grassroots effort. And I think it allows them, again, to kind of control that messaging and get out in front of things, make some big announcements. I forget, someone said don't have Major Nelson there.
I think he has to be there. I think when you say Xbox, he just comes in tow. He's like the uncle that shows up every Thanksgiving, but you're always just happy to see him, right? You don't want him cutting the turkey, because last year he used a chainsaw and he ruined everyone's dinner. But you still want him in the corner there. You give him his glass of vino, and you know what? Someone plays cards with him, and everyone's happy.
Exactly. But I would love to go to an Xbox event like that. And I'm with you, Boom. They need to bring this to the East Coast.
Yes, please, for the love of Jehovah, let's get it done. Okay, listen. Well, first of all, great opinions from everybody on the panel. The chat has been awesome, but now we're at the 1 hour mark. So this is going to be the first giveaway of my channel, of my show. I am going to be giving you guys a question. I'm going to read it in a second. It's a code for PubG, and it was donated by a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show, Moonwalker925 on Twitter. He went out and got another Xbox One X. He got the code. He already had the game, so he donated the code. So now someone in the chat is going to win it, and it's I don't do Twitter tracker or Twitter picker. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Listen, I'm like a caveman. I'm lucky I can get the show off the ground. I'm going to be honest, okay? But I will eventually get there. But for today's giveaway, it's going to be one question. And the only caveat that I have, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, is that the gentleman's first and last name must be spelled correctly. First one in the chat to come up with the answer, I'll DM you with the code. Here is the question, so get your ear to the microphone. Who is considered the father of Xbox and is responsible for bringing back the Duke OG Xbox controller for use with the Xbox One this year? And I'm going to hold my breath, and hopefully someone gets it right.
Don Matrick.
I should have been a guest today.
It's not Donnie D, that is for sure. So if you're let's see, I'm waiting. Well, there's someone got the first name the first name right, but we need his first and last name. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Pixis Echo got it correct. Congratulations, Pixis Echo. You have won a code for PubG. Congratulations. Thank you for everyone in the chat hanging out. Superstation Sonic just missed it. I hope that you have a Twitter account and it's open for DM. I will hit you up with the code after the show. Once again, thank you for everyone for playing. Congratulations once again to Pixis Echo. Excellent. So now we're gonna move on to we're gonna talk about a couple of games coming out in the next few weeks, and I have to immediately talk about a game that is literally 14 days away. One that I think the entire world is excited for. If you are an MCU fan, if you are a PlayStation fan, I am talking about Insomniac's Spider-Man. The latest trailer looks nothing but complete fire. I have the collector's edition pre-ordered, where I'm going to be doing a live unboxing when that comes out in a couple of weeks on my channel. But I want to hear not only from the chat, but I also want to hear from the panel. And I want to go to Predator first. First of all, are you getting Spider-Man? And second question, even if you're not, does the game look incredible to you?
I am getting it.
Excellent. Nice.
And I'm getting it physical. I'll give you some reasons why later. But and I'm going to play the shit out of it for like the first week until Tomb Raider comes out. So I'm excited about it. But again, it's just Spider-Man. I mean, it just looks better than the previous Spider-Man games that we played. I'm excited for it, but don't take anything away from what I just said about it being regular Spider-Man. It's going to be fun, but I'm going to play the fuck out of it. That's really all I can say. I know I'm going to play it the first week and try and rush through it as fast as possible. I'm not really into getting all the collectibles and different outfits and shit. I just want to play the story and be done with it, because I'll probably never pick it up again after I beat it, the main story, unless I can finish it and get everything done within the first week. Are they going to have DLC for this game or no, other than costumes?
You know what? I think that they're supposed to. I'm almost positive that I heard that there's going to be story DLC coming, as well as open missions throughout, because the map is going to be open. It's going to have its story-based missions, and it's also going to have stuff on the, like side stories. And I think they're going to have a bit of both. I'm hoping so. This game looks too fantastic to be a one and done.
Yeah, and the thing is, if it was coming out like, I don't know, like April, I'd play the fuck out of it and keep it and continue to play it, because there's usually nothing out around that time of the year.
Right.
But because I got that, I got Tomb Raider, I got Battlefield, I got like all these other games I want to play.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah. Come on.
Ridiculous. I can't really and I know me. I know I'll play it, and I'll never go back to it because I'll be playing all those other games. And then maybe like in December when there's like, there's a little break between December and March, I might go back to it. But knowing me as a consumer and the way I play games, if I don't finish that game within the first week or so, well, let me back up. When I finish that game, I won't go back to it. I don't care what DLC comes out. I probably won't touch it again. I'll give it to my stepson or something, and I'll start playing Tomb Raider, and then I'll start playing Battlefield, and I'll start playing all those other games coming out in the first of the year. So I'm going to try to grind my way through it in the first week and get it out and get it done and get as much shit as I possibly can, but I probably will not platinum that game. So,
I mean, listen, I don't. I'll put it to this way: I've only platinumed about 3 or 4 games, not a lot of them. I am. What is it? I Am Bread might be one of them. It's shameful, but it's. I don't really play the Sony first party games for the trophies, so to speak. I'm an old school cat. I like single player games, and I just sometimes want to put on a pair of headphones and play something gorgeous, and that's what you get with the Sony first party games, which is why I'm such a big fan. But I hear you, dude. Listen, Spider-Man is coming out in the first week of September. There is a lot coming out afterwards, but you do have some time before the big guns drop. So again, it's probably going to be about one of those 12, 14-hour, games, maybe 12 if you kind of just going to plow through it. Me, I'm going to put 30, 40 hours into it because I'm going to swing everywhere, find every backpack and, every newspaper clipping or whatever. I'm a completist like that. But Micro, I want to go to you, dude. First and foremost, do you have a PlayStation 4? Even if you don't, what are your takes on what Insomniac has been able to do with Spider-Man?
I don't have a PlayStation 4, no, but I think looking at what they've done with this game, I think it's incredible. I've always liked the Spider-Man games on the the 360 and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 that came out on Xbox One, but they've never been particularly great looking games, and this one sort of is in a different league from what I can see of the trailers and things that I've watched. I mean, Spider-Man's in my top sort of 3-4 comic book heroes, so it would be definitely one I'd purchased if I had a PS4. It was coming out on the Xbox One, most definitely. I mean, Insomniac have got such a great pedigree. I mean,
yes, what a fantastic developer, dude.
Yeah. I mean, this is a company that was at the brink of bankruptcy at one point, and these guys are the guys behind Ratchet and Clank and Spyro and the amazing Sunset Overdrive. They're a great developer and they deserve a lot of success with this game. Unfortunately, I mean, if I had a PlayStation 4, it would be a definite for me. But I'm not going to buy a system just to play that game because, like Predator said, a week later we've got Tomb Raider drop in, and that's my go-to game. I love Tomb Raider, and I've got to try and get that done before Red Dead Redemption 2 drops. So,
that game is going to take everyone's life. People are going to get divorced over Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, I've already been divorced, but I might end up getting twice. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 just looks like one of those games that I'm just going to sit down with a pair of Spurs and a cowboy hat on in the bedroom, and I'm just going to have to...
Well, hopefully they're not assless chaps.
Not with this leather chair, Christ almighty. But somebody will just have to come in and just dust my shoulders off now and again because I'm going to get so dusty sitting in this chair. Oh my God, I can't wait for that game. But no, going off topic here, I think the game looks amazing and I hope it's a massive success for Insomniac. I really do. And I'm hoping that there's a bit more. You keep hearing this term "one and done," and I hope there's that replay, that replay value, replayability that the gamers are going to get from it. I mean, I'm assuming Predator that you're buying the physical so you can trade it in.
Exactly. The only caveat to that will be if my stepson wants it. He doesn't live here with me, so we game share on PlayStation. So if I get it, he may want it too. And that's really the only physical games I buy. Like I bought God of War for him, or for me. We back up. I bought this shit for me. He wanted it too. But I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good game, and I bought it. But he never even played it. Like, fuck you. So like, I have to be real weird. He's a shooter guy like me, so like our shooters usually go. But I play on Xbox versus PlayStation. I get my PlayStation. I get all my exclusives. I get my PlayStation for the exclusives, so he doesn't play the games I play on there. So for this, I may just go ahead and get physical and just see how he feels about it.
I mean, that's the good thing about it. I mean, at some point, I expect that I will go and pick up a cheap PS4, second-hand PS4, something. And by then, I mean, Spider-Man will probably be one of those ones that's quite cheap. So, you know, by the time I get around to playing it, it'll be sort of late next year, if not later. So, I'm normally with the PlayStation. I'm normally one generation behind.
No, listen, I mean, listen, the game's going to be there. I think that it just shows the talent that Insomniac has. I mean, you know what, it hurts my heart and makes me smile at the same time that one Spider-Man, that a game that fantastic looking, is coming onto the PlayStation 4, which I'm excited for. But it also kind of breaks my heart to think that if they would have been given the opportunity, could you imagine what a Sunset Overdrive 2 would look like on current, on the Xbox One X? I mean, it's again, I walk away happy and sad at the same time. But Jamie, I want to go to you, dude. I don't really know if you have a PlayStation 4, but even if you don't, I'm interested to hear your take on what Insomniac has been able to do with the Spider-Man license.
You know, I don't have a PlayStation yet, but I do plan on picking up Spider-Man when I get one. But no, I like superhero games. I love them, and I'm actually playing the Amazing Spider-Man on 360 right now. And while it's a good game, combat in these other Spider-Man games are just terrible. But the thing about this new Spider-Man, and I've seen people use this as a negative thing, but I think it's beyond positive. Arkham Asylum came out and completely changed combat for a ton of games. And it revolutionized how countering works, how blocking works, everything. And this new Spider-Man has a lot in common with Batman, but that's a good thing. And Insomniac taking that style combat and throwing it in a gorgeous Spider-Man open world game, like, how is that not a good thing? So I personally think it looks awesome. It's a shame we don't get a Sunset Overdrive just yet, because that would look pretty amazing on the Xbox One X. But no, the game looks good.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, I think it looks like a movie. Again, there's a couple of, for me, this is just me. I don't have Spider-Man tattoos. I know that Mooch is always saying that. Yeah, the people that are really going to love this game are the ones that have a tattoo. I do have a Spider-Man comic book collection. It's been one of my favorite heroes growing up. I'm a huge fan of the MCU. I love everything that they're doing, over there with Kevin Feige and the gang. So I'm super stoked for this, because, to be completely honest, you have Marvel and DC. In DC, Batman's Rogue Gallery is probably second to nobody. Obviously his Rogue Gallery is fantastic, and on the Marvel side, there really isn't a better Rogue Gallery of villains than what Spider-Man has to offer. And I think we're going to get a chance to see not only the classics, but I think we're going to get a few new ones in there. But Enrique, I want to go to you, dude. I don't know if you have a PS4. And like I said, the same question to everyone else. Even if you don't, what is your takeaway with Insomniac and what they have been able to do with the Spider-Man franchise?
Yeah, actually, I do have a PlayStation 4. And,
nice.
Yeah, and so when I heard that Insomniac was making this game, I was like, I guess my expectations for this game just went through the roof, giving Insomniac's pedigree as a developer. And I was excited because I felt like there's been some okay Spider-Man games, but not on the level of like Batman Arkham. And everything that I've seen in this game, from the traversal to, just how amazing the open world looks, I'm hyped. I'm ready to. I'm probably going to put a lot of time into this game.
I'm going to want to go everywhere. Like, I'm going to want to go everywhere, down dirty alleys, in garbage cans. You know what I'm saying? I want to pass a crack den, hopefully. I want to go everywhere in Spider-Man.
No, I'm the same way, because it seems like we're not as limited in terms of where we can go and the amount of exploration that we can do compared to other Spider-Man games. And so that has me. And then it looks like we're going to have a variety of different of what I call classic Spider-Man villains in this game. So I'm hyped. I do wish there was a little bit of a buffer between that game and the new Tomb Raider and then Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Because that's like I'm trying to figure out how am I going to juggle all of, like those games. I mean, it's a lot there. But yeah, I'm excited. I expect this game to be a good game considering the pedigree of Insomniac. So I'm hyped.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm gonna segue once again, ladies and gentlemen, into the Gamescom trailer of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm gonna tell you this right now, okay? I know that a couple of days ago, IGN did a story about it running terrible on the PC with the new graphics engine. You know what? We're not here to talk about PC. We're here to talk about consoles, more specifically what the Xbox One X enhancements look like on this game. And that's the trailer they showed. I was already through the roof excited. I have been a big fan of Lara Croft since back in the days. I beat both on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, the first two. I bought them for both. I thought they were fantastic. Shadow of the Tomb Raider looks to be as dark and violent as it's ever been. And of course, I want to get the chat, give me a 1 if you're super excited for this game, or a 2 if it's something that you're going to pick up later on the sale. But I'm going to go to my panel first, and I want to go to Predator. Pred, you mentioned Tomb Raider. This is a big title for Square Enix, but more specifically Crystal Dynamics and the owners of the franchise. What are your takeaways from the what they've been able to show this game? Are you as impressed as I am? Oh, he might have stepped away. Sorry about that. Well, you know what, Micro?
I'm sorry, I started on mute. My bad.
Okay.
Oh man, I love Tomb Raider, dude. When it came out earlier in the year, the 2013 version, I played that game. That's one of the few games that I just went through and I purposely tried to beat everything and find everything in it. And I'm excited. It's 4K 60. I was even hyped when I heard that it was going to be on Game Pass, which isn't the case at this point. But when I saw that, I was like,
yes, right now.
Oh, yeah, it's on Game Pass too. So like I could play it on my PC as well. So this is like my hype game of the year so far. And it's either this or Assassin's Creed for me. But those two games are both going to be amazing. I think this one specifically looks amazing for what they're putting into the game. And I think the relationship between Xbox and Microsoft and Crystal Dynamics, with them hiring the guy from Crystal Dynamics,
yes,
this all kind of ties in together, like what they've been able to do with this game and actually get everything out of the Xbox they can, every single resource they can out of the Xbox One X to make this game look as good as it does.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the character models themselves look mind-blowing. But when you see her walking through the jungle and there's that shadowing where as she's going under a leaf, it's the shadow is kind of just going over her back. It's crazy. I mean, I could recall, and like I said, I beat Rise of the Tomb Raider and I almost 100%ed it on both consoles. Because I just could not stop playing. And like you, Pred, I found everything. Every jar, every coin drop, every piece of map, everything, because it just looked so amazing. And this game looks to trump that. Microbox, I want to go to you next on this, dude. You obviously are going to be playing it on the Xbox. What do you think about what they've shown so far? Are you super hyped for this game on the 14th of September?
Oh man, I'm day one. I'm day one, definitely. I must apologise for my house today. It sounds like a bloody menagerie.
It's okay, dude.
Cockatiels going mad. The bloody dog's going mad. Jesus Christ. Just saving it for me. No, I'm absolutely hyped for this game, definitely. I mean, I've been a fan of Tomb Raider since it first dropped on the original PlayStation. I mean, I absolutely love Tomb Raider 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. And I've always been there. And I remember when they rebooted and I first saw the trailer for the reboot Tomb Raider, and I was like, oh my God, this just looks amazing. And I played that game through, and when I finished it, I started it again. And then the buggers brought it out on the Xbox One, the definitive edition.
Yep.
And it was like, oh my god, I've got to play through it again. and it was like that with Rise. I mean, Rise looked amazing. I played through it, and then they brought out the bloody X patch, so I had to play through it again. And I can't wait for this one. I really can't. I mean, the only problem I've got now is I've got Rise of the Tomb Raider and Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm going to end up just tossing a coin every night when I get in, because I ain't going to know what to do. I'm really not. The whole thing, the way that they rejuvenated this game and put so much life into what was, it was getting a bit of an old franchise, and it was getting a bit stale. The last ones before the reboots weren't selling quite so well, and they just didn't seem to have the appeal that the originals had. But when they brought this and they rebooted it, and they did this sort of cinematic adventure, it blew my mind, to be honest, the first time. And what they're doing now with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I mean, I was watching that trailer and I was like, bloody hell, the graphics and the animation are just amazing. I just cannot wait to play that game. I really cannot wait to play it. It's just I love Lara.
Yes, yes. I mean, well, who doesn't love Laura? I mean, come on, obviously. I mean, plenty of guys went into bathrooms when they were kids. Okay, let's call it like it is.
Over a triangular bosoms all those years ago.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Jamie, Jamie, I want to go to you, dude. You're gonna play this on Xbox. You have an Xbox One X. Someone mentioned in the chat, I just saw Predator talking about it, the ray tracing that's going to be in the Xbox One X version. Are you hyped for this game? And do you think that it's going to be something you're going to be playing through until you finish it?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is my most anticipated game of the year.
Nice.
I mean, I've loved Tomb Raider since the 90s. When I was a kid, and triangles. That was a thing. But I mean, like the 2013 one blew my expectations away. It was my game of the year. Then Rise of the Tomb Raider was my game of the year. I think it was 2015. But this one, I mean, like I'm seeing it getting a lot of unnecessary hate on things like reset error and stuff. But one of my favorite developers is making this. Like the people that made the tombs from the last game on this. Eidos Montreal. Like I love their games. They make Deus Ex. And they adding a lot to this game, and the stuff I found out about this game, and stuff I've chosen not to make videos about because I want people to be surprised by it. But this game looks deep, and it looks like the best one yet. So I'm definitely getting it day one, and I mean it's getting DLC for like 6 months after release. Like I think there's like 7 tombs coming afterwards. Yeah. So I'm definitely there. I'm getting it.
Nice. Well, listen, I think it's safe to say, as packed as this year is going to be, it's probably going to be in people's top 10s, possibly top 5s for in that game of the year race that everyone's going to be talking about towards the end of the year. But Enrique, I want to get your take on this, dude. How excited are you for Tomb Raider, and where are you going to be playing it?
Man, I'm very excited. I'll be playing it on the Xbox One X.
Nice.
Yeah, I typically play most of the multi-plats on the X. But yeah, man, I'm just excited. I remember Tomb Raider back in the mid '90s, early to mid '90s, and it at the time it was an iconic franchise, and then kind of just fumbled around a little bit, and to see them reboot the franchise and the success they've had, and the last 2 titles have been, I think, top notch quality titles.
They get better with each one, dude.
Yeah, and this one seems to take a little bit of a darker tone.
Yes,
at least from what I've seen from some of the.
She's killing MFs in this joint. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, she's not messing around. And, she's almost like come full circle with who she is as a character, which is interesting. If you remember how she was when we were introduced to the new Lara and the first Tomb Raider, she's like the first Tomb Raider, but the first Tomb Raider, the reboot of this of the series, she's kind of come full circle now. It looks like, and so yeah, you're right. She's in there just kicking ass and taking names later, as they say. But
she's become more of the hunter than the hunted.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it. I mean, she seemed a little more timid in the first two.
Yes.
For what I've seen now, you're right. She's like the hunter now. Like she's not messing around. And I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good one. But I do feel like there's not a lot of. I feel like there's not a lot of conversation around this game.
I agree with you on that, dude. You know what? As fantastic as it is, and this is the trifecta in the series, dude. Yeah. There has not been a lot of gaming talk on this. You're right.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised by that. And maybe it's because of where the release window of this game, because it's releasing between Spider-Man. We just talked about Spider-Man, and then we know about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right.
And maybe that's part of it. But I think this is going to be one of the better games of 2018. I hope no one sleeps on this game, because I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be maybe even a top 5 game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I am going to say this. As great as exclusive deals are, I'm glad to see this not only coming out. Is it coming out on PC as well?
Yeah, because I got the ray tracing stuff.
Okay, yeah. So I'm happy for a couple of reasons. One, you want to see this game do well because we want a 4th iteration, whatever that's going to be called. This is a series that's as classic as gaming itself, and there are certain, Enrique, you made a mention earlier about Castlevania, and it's almost a sin that has zero relevance in 2018 when it comes to gaming. Like Netflix, I don't know if you saw the anime, looked amazing. I watched it twice. They just did the preview for the second part, which I cannot wait for it to come out. I'm going to watch that probably twice again. So a perfect example of how a title could be just lost to the ages is Castlevania, right? So we want another Lara Croft game. We want another Tomb Raider game. That's a series that needs to constantly be out. I don't care if I have to wait every 3 years to get a new one. That's perfectly acceptable. But it's a game that the fans like myself and everyone on the panel, everyone in the chat want in their collections, and they want to play. So, I hope that the fans get out there and all 3 platforms support this game, because it looks like it's going to be the second coming when it comes to action adventure.
I agree, man. I agree. And, it's great to see a game with like Tomb Raider that has so much historical significance in the gaming industry be rebooted, because it's not easy to reboot these games.
No, it's certainly not.
And make good games. So that's why I really hope people go out and support it, because this isn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. We all know, like, if you've been gaming for a long time, they've tried to reboot this series before, and it wasn't successful up until now, to more recently. So it's like you brought up Castlevania. I mean, this is one of those iconic franchises, and it's great to see that they were able to have the kind of success that they've had more recently with this game. So I can't wait, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. I mean, I think I come through that way as well. It's a great time to be a gamer. I want to keep with, a couple of guys mentioned PlayStation, and I want to talk about one of the games that Microbox brought up earlier, but I want to go into detail. One of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4, which I still think is one of the most gorgeous games still on that console, was Until Dawn. I am a huge fan. Again, it's one of those titles that deserves a sequel. Well, the developers, Supermassive Games, is finally going multi-plat, which I think is fantastic. Because if it was on the PS4 only, guess what? I'm playing it because I love their games. But I'm going to probably play it on the Xbox One X because it's probably going to have some sort of advancements. During GamesCom 2018, they showed the trailer for Dark Pictures' Man of Medan, and it looks stunning. It looks just like, I mean, it's in the same horror vein as Until Dawn. And I don't know if anyone on the panel saw it, but Pred, did you get a chance to take a look at this trailer?
I did not actually. I forgot about this topic, so I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, well, no problem, dude. We'll come back to you. Microbox, I want to go to you because you had talked about it first. What are your thoughts on this game? I mean, again, you don't have a PS4, but when you get one, I highly recommend Until Dawn. I thought it was so much fun. What were your takeaways from? First of all, the graphics looked amazing. So, what were your thoughts, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the gameplay trailer that you posted up in the chat, and because I wanted to look at all the trailers and things before I come on, and it looks really it looks really good. It looks really smooth. I mean, I'm assuming I haven't looked much into Until Dawn, to be honest with you either. But I'm assuming that they sort of go along these sort of interactive sort of movie experiences along that sort of line.
Yes.
I mean, it looked very smooth. There was I mean, watching the trailer, I thought at times the control looked a bit clunky, but that could just be because of the way the guy was playing it. But I thought it looked interesting. It's certainly a game that I would have a go at, and certainly have a go at playing. I mean, I like my multiplayer games, but I do like an engrossing single player experience. I do like that, and that's why I like games like the Tomb Raider series. You know, there's a time and a place for every game genre, isn't there? Apart from FIFA, but I shouldn't say that out loud. But no, I mean, it's something that I will definitely keep an eye out. You know, I'll keep an eye on that game and see how it continues. I mean, I know that they've got a big following, that developer, but I'm not that au fait with their work because I don't really watch. You know, I don't really watch what's coming out on the other systems, if you know what I mean, because my main concentration is on the Xbox. So
yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Like I said, I'm very excited that they decided to go multi-plat. Again,
yes, it's great to see more developers coming over to the Xbox and bringing these games to the Xbox. You know, if there's a gap in the market, then surely it seems sensible for the people doing those games to come over and fill that gap. So, you know, it's more sales for them. And I love horror style games anyway. I mean, that's why I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil series. You know, the more the better. The more the better, definitely.
I love a good horror game, and I again, Until Dawn, fantastic. Resident Evil, it's in that horror genre, you know, Scooby Doo movie mystery kind of thing. You know, it's probably like a B horror thing, but it's gonna be excellent. Jamie Moran, I want to go to you, dude. Were you able to take a look at the trailer for Dark Pictures' Man of Medan?
I did. It looks good. I haven't played the one on PlayStation. Until Dawn, is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's the name of it. Yes.
I haven't played it, but I have actually watched one of my mates play it, and it looks good. I like the look of these cinematic horror style games, and they said it's going to be I think it's 2 games a year. And I like the idea of that, like 2 cinematic horror games each year. For 2 years.
Love it. Yes.
I could totally get behind that. And since they go on multi-platform now, like chances I'll really actually be able to play it. I just hope they actually don't spend way too much money on actors people have heard of just to try and get people's attention.
Yeah, no, I see your point. Makes sense.
But I'm down for it. I like the look of it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the graphic style. I love the movie-esque, you know, CG kind of presentation. I'm sure it's gonna listen. You know, when you play like the Telltale games, or you play like, for instance, Detroit Become Human, it's not gonna control like a first-person Call of Duty game. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have a little clunk to it, but you know what?
Yeah,
you're there for the story. You're there for the suspense and the horror and the jump scares, and I'm excited for it. You know, but hey, Enrique, I want to get your take on this, dude, because like I said, you're a multi-plat owner as well. Were you able to take a look at the new game from Supermassive?
Yeah, you know, it's actually one of the first I think trailers that I saw watching Gamescom, and because it's Supermassive, like I love the fact they've kind of carved out this niche for themselves.
Yes, I agree.
It's like you know, story driven horror content, like along the lines of like B movies, like Until Dawn feels kind of like a B movie in a lot of ways. Borrows, like for me, I grew up in the 80s watching like Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And
Me too. Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Chucky.
Chucky. Yep. So it kind of reminds me of like Until Dawn borrowed some of the some of those elements, from those movies. There's some inspiration you can see there. But one of the things I liked about Until Dawn, and I haven't finished it, I'm actually still playing it, how quick the QTEs are.
Yes.
Because it adds to that level of like suspense, yeah, and that sense of urgency, like, oh shit, I gotta hit this QTE, like I gotta hit this button quick, or I gotta make this decision quick. So I like that, and I hope they keep that formula, because I'm assuming they're probably gonna have some kind of QTE element in these games.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I hope they keep that, but it looks great. I love that it's going to be multiplayer. I think that's a great.
Yes, man. You know what? The more people that play games from Supermassive, the better it is for everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, kind of like Telltale. I mean, they don't. I can't think of another developer who does horror games, story-driven horror games, the way Supermassive does.
Yeah, they have a knack for it, dude. They really do.
Yeah, so it's definitely something I'm going to pick up and play when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm expecting that to have some sort of X enhancements, which I'm looking forward to.
Obviously, being a completely noob to this because I don't know much about the play. Is this similar to sort of games like Heavy Rain on the PlayStation?
Yes, it's very, very in the same vein for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. Okay, I got you. I mean, I did play Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 3. Was it on the PlayStation 3?
Yep,
yeah,
sure was.
But the only thing I didn't like about that I mean, I don't know if this game is going to be the same, but it's some kind of weird controller sort of things that you had to do.
No, I don't think you're going to have to like motion controllers because if it's coming out for the Xbox, they don't have that. So it's probably just going to be a QTE, you know, press X, Y, and BA, you know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I did wonder if it was like that. Just what I picked up from watching the gameplay. That was all.
Yeah, no, it should be very similar to what you would get in a Telltale or even like a Heavy Rain. Just no stupid motion control nonsense.
Yeah, well, the PlayStation version might have motion controls. Like Until Dawn has motion controls, but you actually have the option to play using motion or just like regular, you know.
Yeah, I shut it off. Shut it off.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Keeping with the PlayStation, nation, and we like to support everybody on this show. Housemarque, and if that developer doesn't ring a bell, it should. They brought us Resogun, Dead Nation, Super Stardust, and Nex Machina, and that's just to name a few. During Gamescom, they dropped a trailer for the next PlayStation 4 exclusive called Storm Divers. And it looks okay. It's a battle royale game with superpowers, and basically, I think even Predator will be interested in this because not only do you have like robotic arms and superpowered guns, but you can go invisible. You can do super jumps, super punches. I normally don't really care for PubG or for Fortnite. The big battle royale scene is just not for me. But I'm a huge fan of Housemarque, and this game looks incredible. I want to go to Predator first on this. Were you able to take a look at Housemarque? I mean, Housemarque at Storm Divers.
I did. I checked it out. And here's the thing about these battle royale games: like they come and they go. Like,
yeah, and you're a shooter guy, so this everyone knows that you don't know Predator. He is the resident professional when it comes to shooters.
I tried to play some of these little, on PC, some of these battle royale games. Like, damn, there's so many of them I can't even think right now. Like ION, Olive 9. There's been another one I was playing recently.
And you play those on PC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like they're fun for a little while, but they're the same concept. You know, they're just skinned differently. Mm-hmm. So I'm almost sick of them, to be honest with you. There's only a few good ones, you know. Like they're some of them are like really shitty. I'm trying to pull this up on Steam real quick. I can't remember the name of this other game.
Wasn't that one that was just released and pulled down because it was crummy?
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second what game it probably is.
The Culling 2.
The Culling 2, yes.
Yeah, that game was garbage. Yes. So Islands of Nine is one I've been trying to play, but like the base has gone from like really big to like shit, you know, because no one's playing it. And then obviously everyone loves PubG, and another one called Realm Royale that I was playing for a little while. That was basically this Fortnite with a different skin. And then you got, you know, Fortnite Battle Royale as well. So like there's only usually room for like 2 or 3 games in that kind of genre, just any genre in all, like that are going to be like really, really successful. Like most shooters, like military shooters, you think of Battlefield, Call of Duty. You know, in this space, you're thinking Battlefield, Fortnite. So the fight right now is for the 3rd game, right?
Right. Yes.
And this may be it, but the fact of it is, if this is exclusive to PlayStation, then
well, you know, actually, Predator, you know, I didn't know this. I thought this was According to Pixis Echo, who won the PubG contest, they're saying that this is slated for PC and early access is next year, and that the Housemarque is open to putting it on any platform. See, I did not know that. Great point, Pixis.
And
and
that's good, because you know what Xbox has that PlayStation doesn't is a forum to put these games on.
Yes, they do.
So again, like games like this will end up coming eventually, maybe, to the Xbox platform, but there's so many of them right now. Like there's way too many of these games out right now, and it's like, at least Call of Duty and Battlefield, if they go this route, there's other game modes. This is just this game with this game mode. That's it. And it's almost like it's like a quick buck, you know. And this game looks really good. I won't lie to you, this game looks really inviting. Like it looks like something that I would pick up, because I looked at the gameplay trailer. I didn't actually gameplay. I think that was more or less more CGI type stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks good from what I've seen. It looks like the type of game that will keep me interested, depending on, you know, how the game handles and stuff like that. It's a try for me. It's one of those games I pick up and preview program on PC and fuck with it. But, you know, as far as translating it over to the Xbox, you know, I don't know. It
is a shooter box, so it would be a good place for it. There's no doubt about it.
It's just, you know, let's see how it does on Steam. I don't know when it releases or anything like that, but I
think it's early access, from what I recall, is next year. When in 2019, I don't know, but hopefully, I don't play
time
PC.
Frame. That'd be a great slot for this, because that's when nothing's out. So, so we'll see what happens. But I'll check it out. I'll try it, and if I do get it, I'll obviously post some gameplay footage on the podcast and stuff like that. And
you know what? If you happen to do it where in the next podcast, I'm going to throw this out there early and often. Vote for Predator.
Vote for Pred. Keep losing now.
Microbox, I want to go to you, dude. I'm a big fan of Housemarque. I love all their stuff. I support that company. They're a small dev, but they put out some quality stuff. This looks like to be a big deal for them. Storm Divers, I thought, looked incredible. Did you get a chance to take a look at it?
Yeah, I watched the trailer.
Okay.
I mean, I like these style of games, but they are. I think they're going to get. I think they're going to
saturate the market for sure.
They're oversaturating, and even you know, the big games that are out there already, Battlefield, Call of Duty, they're all jumping on the bandwagon and doing these battle royale game modes, and I hope they do well with it. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, because I like my shooters more realistic, which is why I choose PubG to play, because I just prefer that more boots on the ground, realistic feel to the games. If I want to play that style of game, I'll go and play Halo. But you know, it looks good. I mean, look at the hit that Overwatch was. That came from nowhere, and it was this massive success. And although this is a different style of game, it's still got that kind of look and feel about it, if you know what I mean, even though it's a battle royale game. So it may do really well on the thing. The only thing is, I mean, at the moment, I mean, if it's only going to be on the PlayStation, it does limit it a little bit. But if it's going to come across the PC and hopefully Xbox at some point, it just gives them a bigger market. People like these games. I mean, look at how popular Fortnite is. It will do well. I'm sure it will do well, because it's a really popular game mode, but I just worry that they might oversaturate it. And you know, it's the first time that we've had this a new game mode appear. That, you know, we've been using the same game modes for so long, but you know, we've had a couple of companies come up with this idea and do great things with it, like Fortnite and PubG, and now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, very much like which happened with the sort of the music genre a few years back with Rock Band and Guitar Hero. You know, you had this genre that was very popular, and then they just completely flooded the market, and everybody just lost interest. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. I hope it does well for them. You know, they're small developers. It's always good to see small developers do well. So I hope it's successful for them. It looks fun. It just doesn't look like a game that I would play. I prefer to play PubG.
Yeah, listen, again, PubG is probably always going to be the go-to for a lot of people, because it's the original. And for the younger folks, it's probably always going to be Fortnite. I mean, it's just the way it is. But Jamie, I want to get your opinion on this. Were you able to watch the trailer on this, and would this be something you might be interested if it ever came to Xbox?
Well, I have seen the trailer, and well, last year, Housemarque came out and said like they can't survive on the like small arcade style games they were doing, so they were going to make something bigger and potentially service based.
Correct.
So
Yes.
I thought, well, I'll be interested to see what they can make, and I say this, and part of me is like, well, all these battle royale games became a meme at E3 because that's all we were expecting, battle royale for everything, but at the same time, I'm like, it looks pretty good. I mean, PubG with superpowers, I could get behind that because Fortnite can just stay away. I don't need that building stuff. But superpowers, yeah, I could buy that. I mean, if they announce it for Xbox, I'll put down my money today. I'll just say that.
Okay, cool. That's good to hear because I'm like I said, I'm not a battle royale kind of a guy, but you take PUBG and you add superpowers. Now I'm starting to maybe pique my interest. So I'm right there with you, Enrique. I want to get to you, dude. Like I said, I'm a fan of Housemarque. I don't know if you are, but being that you're a PlayStation 4 guy, you probably own Resogun or at least one of their classic titles. It's good to see them making a big game, but more importantly, there is potential for them to finally go multi-plat. I think that's big.
I hope they go multi-plat. I mean, they've made some great like top-down arcade shooters, or however you want to classify them. But I think, like Jamie said, I think they did come out and say that they couldn't really survive making the kind of games they're making. But then again, I'm not so sure. I'm a PUBG guy. Like, I like PUBG. I just don't know. Like, my concern is like, is this game, and it looks interesting, by the way. Like, I think the premise of the game looks interesting. I just don't want it to be like a reskin of something else. Like, I hope there's like enough uniqueness to this game to kind of differentiate itself a little bit from from Fortnite or PUBG, where it doesn't feel like this is more like a sci-fi PUBG, or a reskin version of like Fortnite. That's my hope, and I hope that Fortnite, or not Fortnite, but I hope Housemarque finds some success in this. But I'll say this: I am cautiously optimistic, given that it's Housemarque. So we'll see. I can't say I like what I saw, but I'm not so sure yet if that's something I'd buy. I'd have to see more gameplay.
I mean, look, like I said, for an initial trailer from a company that normally makes little arcade games, I walked away impressed. I think there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. You're 100% right. And being a PUBG guy, you know what you like, so you know what you know what you're going to want. Same thing for Predator. You guys are shooter guys, right? It's your bag. So you know what you want in your peanut butter and chocolate, and you know what you don't want in your peanut butter and chocolate. So let's hope that they bring it. But you know what? I kind of want to move on to the next topic, because this one is probably going to close out the show. Aaron Greenburg was interviewed during Gamescom, and he had some really, really interesting things to say about first-party investment, single-player games. He talked about Japanese support, but more specifically, he was talking about Playground Games building up their second team to work on a brand new game, which, of course, it's unconfirmed, but we all know that it's Fable. I don't give a shit what anyone says. But while he was there, he was interviewed by DualShockers. And I just want to read a couple of his quotes, and then I'm going to get the panel's opinion. And this is a direct quote from Aaron Greenburg of Microsoft. While it's a secret project, and I understand that you and probably all the gamers out there want to know what it is, we just ask for a little bit of patience, but know that making sure our world-class team is working on a big exclusive for our fans. It's something that they're excited about. And in the second quote, he says, "We know that the team is going to be doing something that is really special. And for us, we want to be thoughtful about when we reveal what that is. But they have a second team there, and it's extra capacity." And he's saying that he thinks when the time is right, when they finally make the announcement, every Xbox fan is going to be excited. So I want to go to Predator first on this. Obviously, we don't know anything outside of speculations, but him calling it a big exclusive means that, I mean, obviously the talent they've been hiring to work on whatever they're working, and I'll say it 10 times over, it's Fable, folks. That's the end of the story. What are your takeaways with what he has to say about Playground Games?
He's not gonna say anything bad about them. I mean, they've made nothing but straight 90+ Metacritic games for them for the last couple of years with the Forza series. So,
yep.
And let's just assume it's not Fable.
Okay.
Let's just play that game for a minute. Like, the question would be, what would it be? What would excite us gamers? We have our list of games we want to see rebooted and brought back from other franchises. So I would pull anything out of Rare, anything Rare's done out of their mix, because I know Rare's working on 2 games right now other than Battletoads. They're working on one other game. They announced that at E3. Yes. The initiative, I think, if you think about what that means and what it is, I think they're the talent they're recruiting. I don't think they'd recruit all this talent just for Fable, because they've already got the assets for Fable. I mean, most
yes,
of that
they do.
Yep. So I don't think they're just working on Fable. I think Fable's just like, that's what we want, but I think they're working on something else too that we have no idea, other than Forza, that we have no idea. Because I think Forza, aren't they like taking a break from Forza this next year?
I believe so. I think from what I understand, there's not going to be one next year, and I think that's good. I mean, they haven't said it. I'm completely speculating here, folks, but I think they're going to hold that off for the 2020 launch of whatever the next Xbox is.
And I think they could do that with Forza. I think they can do that with both Forzas. They can give it a year or maybe 2 break because they can just keep adding assets to it the way the gaming community is going now. As long as you provide DLC to keep you going for a little while, that will feed us for a little bit. In Forza, they're basically the same cars, just in different skins in each game.
Yes.
So I think they can get away with sitting away from Forza for a little bit and working on if it's Fable and if it's something else. And I think they can get away with that. Man, I wanted to be Fable. Trust me. So, but I think the talent they're hiring, I think it's leading up to something other than just Fable. I think we're going to be surprised at what they come up with. I think the talent they're creating, I think that's just the hub. They call it a quadruple A studio, right?
Yes.
So I think they're going to hire teams. This is my speculation. Don't quote me on this, but I think the people they're hiring are basically starting these games off and they're handing them off to other smaller developers to finish, kind of like what they did with Crackdown and some other games. So they're getting the story set up, they're getting the model set up, they're getting the base set up for the game. And then all the other stuff that comes with that is going to be outsourced to other smaller AA studios or whatever, or AAA studios, should I say. That's just my guess. But for the games I think they're making, obviously, I think Fable's one of them. I think it's something else other than
Perfect Dark has been rumored for a very heavy rumor for to be in development. A reboot.
You don't think Rare would make that though, or the Coalition? Because I think that.
I mean, the Coalition was rumored to be doing it. I mean, obviously they're the masters. I mean, of third.
They're working on 2 games too.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. We don't know what the second one is. So it would be. Listen, the more people they hire, the more first-party games are going to come out, and we won't be starving for between releases.
Right. But here's the thing: if it is Fable, it can't suck.
No, it can't. Absolutely not.
It
has
come
to be
out with a shitty launch. It can't be garbage. It can't be. This game has to be like God of War level, type shit. Like,
absolutely.
And if it's not, then don't even talk about it until you have that shit ready. And I am perfectly okay with them taking their time and not saying a fucking thing about this game, because what we don't want is another Scalebound.
No, God.
Disgust, and then it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Now it will come out because it's being made by the initiative, but
We know it's coming. Like I said, we've taken the abuse from the media and from the toxic community, unfortunately, that exists within the PlayStation Nation, and the Xbox has it too. There are a-holes on both sides of the fence. There's no doubt about it. But we've waited this long to wait a couple more years for everything to finally come full circle. I'm okay with that at this point. But Micro, I want to go to you, dude. Aaron Greenburg talked a lot. He had a lot to say about first party. He talked about how they love single player games, and it's something that they absolutely believe in. He also mentioned the Japanese support. But like I said, the real standout, and I think in anyone that reported this, where the playground conversation about what they're working on. What is your take on what Aaron Greenburg had to say with Playground Games?
Hang on, I've just got to bloody shut my window. Some daft cows doing their lawn now. It's like this is everything's going against me today. Jesus. Right, where were we?
We're talking about Aaron Greenburg. We're talking about the potential of it being Fable 4, but what if it's not? What are your takes on his confidence on what they're building there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is just another example of how much Xbox have turned the corner and seen the light. I mean, they've been the good guys in this whole console thing since the Xbox One announcement, and they have played the nice guys, and they've tried to do it their way, and it didn't work. And they finally, the polite way of putting this, they finally got some kahunas, and they're actually coming out fighting, and they're coming out swinging, and they're not pissing around anymore. They're putting the money where it needs to be put. They're getting the teams on board. They're getting the teams in place. They're getting these games done. To get someone like Playground Games working on something like this, like Predator, I hope to God it is Fable. I really do. I really want a new Fable. I love the Fable series. Even the overly hyped Peter Molyneux versions of Fable that we were promised. I mean, the one good thing that's come out of all these rumors so far is the fact that Playground Games haven't hired Peter Molyneux.
No, I don't think that'd be good for PR. I'm just saying.
Just take on Peter Molyneux as your PR. You'll be all right. I just think it's just a great example of Xbox means business, and they're sick of all this shit that gets thrown at them in the media and in social media, and it's just been all over the place, hasn't it? And I think they've finally seen the light, and they're actually standing their ground now, and they're actually putting the money where it needs to be. And it's been an exciting 12 months anyway to be an Xbox gamer, but the future is just going to be incredible. They're not going to be on the back step for Scarlet's launch. I can tell you that now. Microsoft are going to be coming out swinging, and Sony better watch their back, because they mean big business this time. And all these projects, I mean, yes, Perfect Dark, and a great franchise, a great IP. It'd be great to see that returning. There's loads of different games. I mean, we've been calling for a new Bad Fur Day. Give us a new Conker game.
Absolutely. No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many IPs out there that we would like to see return. But in saying that, we also want some new IPs as well. I mean, all the time you see things like Until Dawn appearing on the PlayStation side. It's Xbox needs those style of games as well, just to come out from nowhere, just be a single game, story-driven game. We need more of that. So it looks like Microsoft is sort of taking note, and they do mean business. I mean, when you look at the developers that they're buying and getting on board now, I mean, Ninja Theory. I mean, what an amazing developer to get hold of. God knows what they're going to be coming out with, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So, no, I'm really excited. I mean, it's a great time to be an Xbox gamer. It's a great time to be a gamer in general. I mean,
yes, well put, sir. Well put.
It's not just on the Xbox side, on the Nintendo side, on the PlayStation side. They've got some great stuff coming out. I was that close to buying a Nintendo Switch on Friday of last week. I was that close. I'm still on the fence, but I'm probably going to end up getting one at some point. no, overall, it's just a great time to be gaming, and you know, we got some excitement coming. We have got some, even, you know, with all the games that we know about, plus these games that we don't know what they are yet, and all these rumors and speculation, and yeah, it's just gonna be brilliant. I hope to God it is a Fable game that they're working on. I really do, because I just
they know the fans want it, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's almost a guarantee, but
they don't need to show anything. I mean, Welsh Gamers said the same. You know, you don't need to announce anything. Don't show us any graphics. Just come on wearing a Fable 4 t-shirt or something. That's all we need.
Phil needs to be Phil. Wear a t-shirt. We're good.
Just confirm that it's on its way. We don't need to know dates. We don't need to see gameplay. Just let us know this. Stop dangling the carrot. Just show us something and confirm that they are doing it. You know, why all the secrecy? At least just let us know Fable 4 is in development. You know, that's all you need to do. We don't need dates. We don't want all the saga that we've had with Crackdown and all that sort of stuff, and Scalebound. And I mean, that's something else. And I think that's probably why they're being so cagey at the moment. Microsoft have been sort of bit a few times with announcing games that they've had real issues with. And of course, Fable Legends was another one. You know, they've had a few games that have been in development that either haven't seen the light of day or have had very long production issues, and I think they're trying to steer clear of that, and I think that's probably why they're keeping it so close to their chest at the moment. So
yeah, absolutely. You know, they're a little gun shy, and that's completely understandable.
Definitely.
All right. Well, listen, Jamie, I want to go to you, dude. Being an Xbox guy, you obviously have been at the front of the rah-rah parade, and I'm right there with you because I love Xbox, and I want them to be relevant. I want them to be shoulder to shoulder with the Nintendos and the PlayStations of the world, and I think they're going to do that. But this interview, it didn't open my eyes, but it definitely piqued my interest regarding his Playground game statements. What are your takes away from it?
You know, Aaron Greenburg has the ability to say something without saying it. And what he did say and didn't say it was when he was talking about Playground games, he was on about how they couldn't talk about it yet, but it's what the fans would like. And not at one point did he mention new IP. Another thing we know is that Playground games are open. They're making an open world action RPG.
Right.
The Fable fans, me, people have wanted an open world Fable game for like a decade.
Yep.
And you put 2 and 2 together, you get Fable.
I love your math. It's awesome.
It's Fable. Like I'd bet my Xbox on it. Like it's Fable. And when it comes to like the other studios, like whether the initiative is making, like, let's say Perfect Dark, I mean, think about it. You take Perfect Dark, move it third person, make it a cinematic, dark cyberpunk action adventure. That would be pretty good, and that's the kind of game Xbox needs. And I think getting all these studios, and he pretty much confirmed that single player games aren't dead, and I think that they're setting up the future for Xbox games, because the whole Halo Forza Gears thing, it's a meme. And I'm sure they're aware of it at this point. And they need to make games that's that good. They will get sequels, because let's face it, when it comes to Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, Recore, they probably aren't getting sequels, despite the fact I like them.
I loved every one of them. Every title that you mentioned, I played through and beat, and I would play through them again.
Yeah, I like them too. It's a shame more people didn't pick them up, but if they can come out with some really good games, they'll get sequels.
Yeah, no, it's possible for sure. Absolutely, dude. All right. Well, I love your points on it. Makes a lot of sense. Enrique, I want to go to you, dude. We know. Obviously, they shocked the world at E3, right? Yeah. They announced 4 studios purchased, one that's a quadruple A studio. Microsoft is making moves. Aaron Greenburg gets interviewed by Dual Shockers, and he has this to say. And again, it's not groundbreaking news, but it's still worth talking about. What were your takeaways from what Aaron Greenburg had to say about about single player games, first party investment, Japanese support, and of course Playground games?
Yeah, I just think this his interview just reinforces what Microsoft's long-term strategy is, which is great. I think he should be doing that. They should be doing that.
Yep.
Getting that message out there, consistently getting that message out there, which I think they've been good at. But I think I'll agree with the rest of the panel. I think Playground's working on another Fable game. I don't think that's not a secret considering the amount of hiring they've done. I think they've hired some folks that have worked on Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, they did. Yep, absolutely.
So when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, open world Fable. I think we've all wanted an open world Fable for some time, and I'm glad to hear that they recognize that they had some issues. Like I think Aaron mentioned, hey, we picked up these studios because they offer us something different than what we're doing, like Gears, like Halo.
Yes, that was a great point, dude. I'm glad you brought that up. Excellent point.
Yeah, and I think that's where they've been lacking. If you look at what Sony's offering in terms of their portfolio of games, I've always felt like Sony's had a more well-rounded portfolio to offer in terms of different types of titles, genres, subgenres, and Microsoft's working towards that now. And you look at the 360, I think that's early on with the 360 success. That's where they had success because they had a diverse portfolio of offerings. They had games like Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon. They had that Japanese support. Maybe not to the extent that Sony's had, but they've done. I think they've done a relatively decent job at even getting some more support from Japan.
Yes, and that's a big thing. I happen to really enjoy the Japanese titles. I mean, obviously, I used to be a big importer, so I imported a lot of stuff this country never got, and I think it brings a diverse, different type of game. JRPGs may not be your thing, but it might be someone else's.
Exactly, and you want to be able to appeal to not just one set of a group of gamers, but a variety of a group of gamers, because that's how you're going to grow that pie. That's how you're going to get more support from other developers. That's how you're going to get more exclusives.
Yep.
That's how you're going to get more money to fund new content. So it was really nice to hear him talk about these things. And, I think they've learned their lessons this console gen. I don't think we'll see any instances or any issues or things like we saw with what was the game that oh shoot, somebody brought it up earlier. Now I'm drawing a blank. That they were working on Scalebound.
Yeah.
And we're hopefully don't see. I don't know what's going on with Crackdown 3. But hopefully we don't see things like that from them anymore. And it was a great interview. I thought it gave a lot more insight into where they're heading, and obviously all these things that they're working on now. I think we can all agree this are going to benefit the next Xbox console.
Oh, I'm going to say this. I think with the way they're positioning themselves right now, laying the groundwork. You got to remember, to build a building, you got to put the concrete foundation, right? Otherwise, it's just going to blow over like the Three Little Pigs. You gotta start at the bottom. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes a long time. Yeah. But if on the route that they're taking, we have possibly, again, this is pure speculation, possibly a launch of the Xbox whatever in 2020. And what are you going to get? You're going to get a new Halo. You're going to get possibly a new Fable and the new Forza as 3 launch titles. Are you kidding me? Like that, if that doesn't move consoles, and I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, I don't know what would.
And then imagine bundling that with or announcing or now they incorporate the Xbox All Access program.
Yes, there you go. You see, this is what I love talking about games. We love having different people's opinions on. You bring up some amazing points, dude.
Yeah, and this is what we want. We want to see Microsoft be competitive like this because this is going to push Sony. Hopefully it pushes Sony. Hopefully they're not sitting on their rears. We've seen Sony do that. That's never good.
No. I mean, listen. I like I said, I proudly support all 3. I want to see the next God of War. I want to see what the team at Detroit Become Human are going to bring out next. I want to see another. I want to see the game after The Last of Us 2. I want to see them not forget about Uncharted because I happen to really love the series.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that series die. So I'm very excited for everyone, but you know what? We have taken 2 hours and 7 minutes of everyone's time in the chat and, of course, on the panel. I want to thank everybody. First and foremost, the chat was fantastic, all fair played, no nonsense. There was one kind of a jerk, but UK Dazaris, who is the sheriff of Boomtown, took care of business as usual. A big congratulations once again to Pixis Echo for winning the PubG code. It is my first giveaway on my channel. It's something I'm going to continue to do. I'm hoping that the super chats come in so I can expand the channel even further. So I'm very appreciative of those. And I just want to give proper outros to everyone who I really truly respect that's on this panel. And Pred, I want to start with you. We've become very, very good friends, both ex-military guys. I have a huge amount of respect for your opinion and the work that you've done for this country. Please tell everyone where they can follow you, and more importantly, where they could vote for you on this BS nonsense called The Next Podcast that you seem to keep losing.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure to be able to jump on a podcast with you. Thanks to the guys on the panel as well. First time, I think I've done one with Jamie before, but I've not been on podcasts with the other guys. But next podcast, Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Vote for Pred. Saturdays. Make sure y'all tune into that, and you can basically catch me everywhere. I'm usually on everybody's podcast. If I'm not on it, I'm in the chat. So look me up, Predator_HOS on YouTube, on Xbox, on PlayStation, on Steam. I also have a Switch account, which is so long I can't remember. But pretty much everywhere, guys. I play everything, anytime, any place. So hit me up.
Nice. Okay, and next up, very good friend of mine, Microbox. Again, you follow me, I follow you. No police reports necessary. But I love having you on the show, dude. I love your opinion. I love that you're funny. You like laughing, you like joking. That's what life is about. There's too much terribleness in the world not to have a little laugh, and you do it in spades. And I love having you on the show. Tell everyone where they can find you and what shows that you're on that they can come and listen to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on, buddy. I always do. You were the last one I did before I went on holiday, and the first one I've done since I come back from holiday.
Yes.
Look at that. Stalking each other again. But no. So it's always great to be on. It's always great to be invited on as well. So, and it's nice to do stuff with Enrique and Predator and Jamie Moran as well. I mean, I'm always seeing these guys all over Twitter and never get the opportunity to talk to any of them. So it's been great to be on. So, no, you can catch me on my channel, MicroBoxMX, and on the Micropod podcast, and on the Dragon X podcast as well. My buddies, the Welsh Gamer and Erock X. So, and I can generally be found hanging around podcasts with Boom as well. So
yes, absolutely.
And I just want to apologise for the cockatiel, the dog,
and the lawnmower man.
Back with the lawnmower.
It's okay, dude. Listen,
Lawnmower
again,
seems to be
you know what? I'm just happy that someone didn't ring my bell, because for some reason, whenever I'm doing a live show, UPS or FedEx wants to drop something off. It's very annoying. So listen, it's life. It happens. But thanks again for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it. Jamie, one of the most outspoken gentlemen on Twitter. I really, you bring up great topics. You bring up older games that people forgot about, that you want sequels to. You're very active with the community. You're also, you're just seem like a really nice guy, and I'm really honored to have you on the show, because this is the first time you're here. So tell everyone where they could follow you and where they can check out your YouTube channel.
Oh, thanks, man. I've had fun being on it. So often I do podcasts, and I really like doing them. The YouTube's The Elusive Gamer. I do Xbox and game coverage, and my Twitter's Jamie Moran UK. And I tweet about games I like the look of and retro shit.
Yeah, and you know what? It's great, because sometimes when I see your tweets, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about the game, and I throw a comment in there, and it's always great. But thanks again. This won't be the last time you come on the show. That is definitely for sure. Enrique, listen, dude, we've been talking privately to get you on here. First of all, thank you so much for coming on. Your insight into gaming is is awesome. I'm a big fan of yours. I've listened to your show. I know eventually I'm going to get that invite. My DM is always open, so hit me up with that. But listen, tell everyone where they could first of all follow you, but more importantly, check out your work because you do good work, and I think everyone should watch your show.
No, I appreciate that, man. And I just want to say it's been a pleasure, shooting the shit and talking video games with everyone here on the panel. And Boom, I'm a big fan of the work that you're doing, man. So keep up the great work. And
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get you back on, Brad, because I know it's been a little while since we've had you on.
Yep.
But yeah, we Basement Radio Arcade podcast goes live every Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, you can. My Twitter handle's at BRAP. That's BRAP_podcast. And you can find us on YouTube at, I believe it's the Basement Radio Arcade podcast live. Yep. So we're also, I should mention, I know you mentioned this earlier, we're actually an official affiliate of the Inner Circle Game Network. So,
and they're fantastic. They're 100% legit.
Yeah, no, it's great. There's a couple podcasts. I can't remember all the podcasts that are part of Tick, but there's Tick that goes live Saturday nights, I think at like 10:30, 11. There's a Double XP, which I think goes live Tuesday. Multiverse, which I think is also Wednesday at like 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then if you guys haven't checked out the Iron Lords podcast,
that's Sunday, great. I was on there a couple of weeks ago. What a great group of guys, man.
Yeah, they're great. They so much energy. They're so positive too, and just love talking games with them. But definitely check them out as well if you guys haven't done so. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. I've had a blast talking video games with everyone here.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. Listen, everyone's contact information is in the show notes below. You just have to click that link, give them a like, give them a follow. I want to say once again, thank you to my panel. Thank you to the chat. I want to wish everyone a fantastic and safe weekend. And I will see you next week on the latest episode of Breakfast with Boom. Have an awesome day, everybody.